right, y'all, we back with another reaction right here on ABP Reactions. And right now, we finna check it out to ATL, where a Section 8 queen who was supposed to help the poor decided to help herself and her family instead. Let's go.
I'm a community activist, and I live in the community. We have a crisis, and this crisis is not getting no better. It's getting worse. The minimum wages of Georgia is $5.15. Y'all could have prevented this housing. We got complaints, and that's why I perform that we get rent control, a stabilization. Senate Bill 125, Donzella James is in the House now. Y'all look comfortable. Y'all got a roof over your head. Y'all see these people out here. I demand. I'm not going to beg, because it could be one of you. Because we is one paycheck away being homeless. And you know how eggs went up? It's $9 in an hour, $9 for a dozen of eggs. And what I'm saying, housing authority, you're supposed to be protecting the people, because Section A, they call me. They're not answering the phone. Are they being nasty to me? You need a monitor. I believe you're not being monitored, because the affordable is not affordable. If I'm making $5.15, I'm a waitress. I have children.
Wait, what? $5.15 an hour?
Got to put them in daycare. I got to eat. You got seniors now is dropping their life insurance.
Tracy, we need to talk
You
to you.
talking to me about what? Who let you up here?
The Section 8 money you've been
You
collecting
can't
for your
just
own
walk into
family.
my office. I need to see a warrant.
Oh, shit. They done got Maxine from Living Single. God damn it.
Waiting, years of struggling. And according to the feds, one woman was handing out housing benefits to the people she knew best. Now, in a former Atlanta Housing Authority executive who allegedly treated Section 8 like a family hookup program is headed to federal prison. Fam, most of us know what Section 8 is supposed to be, a program designed to help families who genuinely need housing assistance. But we also know how difficult it can be to get one of those vouchers. For many people, the waiting list stretch for years, and sometimes it feels like getting help isn't about need, it's about who you know. And according to federal prosecutors, that's exactly what happened in this case. A former senior executive with the Atlanta Housing Authority, Tracy Jones, has
Oh, bro, that's a bad picture. Look at this picture they use. They cold to the motherfucker. Why would y'all use that picture, man? Tracy Jones. Look more like Quincy Jones. God damn.
has now been sentenced in federal court after previously pleading guilty to a scheme involving falsified documents, improperly obtained COVID relief funds, and housing vouchers that prosecutors say benefited people connected to her, including an individual tied to her son's partner, through a property she personally owned. Now, after years of allegations, she allegedly abused a system that countless families depended on. All of those decisions have finally caught up with her. The body cam footage you just watched at the very beginning was the moment a woman who allegedly spent years concealing the truth was forced to confront it face to face. Today we're going to break down her rise within the Atlanta housing system, the federal investigation that exposed the scheme, hear from some locals, the charges she admitted to, and the sentence she received. Most importantly, where this case stands today. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment,
Who
and
snitched on her?
subscribe. We're going to jump right to it.
Thank you. Good afternoon, honorable commissioners. I thank you for your service. I wanted to share with you today because we've been doing a lot of work in the community and there's some concerns and we need your help. So today I respectfully request your assistance on several issues that have been brought to several of us that are working in the community. One, the issue of rent control. We would love for you to take a position on rent control. Many of the partners that you have given resources to are now elevating the rent on the people that they supposedly serve. We want to end that practice, want to codify and mitigate the circumstances that cause this hardship on the people. So that is causing pain on the people. And we want to know where you stand with the people. We want you to take a position because at the premise of the Atlanta Housing Authority is rent control.
All right, so rent control, for sure. I'm with you on that. But hold on. I really, it's been sitting on my mind since the beginning of this video. $5.15 an hour? That's not even legal. That's below. That's not even legal. Is it in Atlanta? $5.50. What the hell in 2026? What are you gonna do for $5.50 an hour? What job is that? And what the hell that check look like every 2 weeks? That's crazy.
Because you sustain a stable level of rent.
Now, speaking of rent, for those who don't know, Section 8 is a federal housing assistance program designed to help low-income families, seniors, veterans, and disabled individuals afford safe and stable housing. Instead of paying full rent, qualifying residents receive vouchers to help cover a portion of their monthly housing cost. Now, let's put this into perspective. In Georgia, the minimum wage is technically $5.15 per.
Wow. What the fuck? The minimum wage is $5.15 in Georgia? Nigga, that is crazy.
Per hour under state law. But because most employers fall under federal regulations, the practical minimum wage for most workers is $7.25 per hour. Meanwhile, the average rent in Atlanta in 2026 is estimated to be between $1,600 to $1,900 per month. And fam, depending on the neighborhood and apartment size, and most would agree, that's mainly in what some consider the hood. So just like
$1,600 rent, that explains it. Nigga, $1,600 rent out here, you ain't even gonna get a studio apartment. Shit, LA, nigga, studio apartments out here is like $2,100 now. Shit, nigga, god damn it, nigga, you want a 2-bed? Oh, don't get a 3-bedroom, nigga. A 2-bedroom, you trying to rent some shit? Ah, damn, but $5.15, that fucked me up. I thought I misheard that wrong.
many major cities across America, thousands of Atlanta residents struggle every month just to keep a roof over their heads. And because of that, fam, housing assistance isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Yet despite the need, tens of thousands of residents spend years on the waiting list. In Atlanta alone, roughly 30,000 households are on the waiting list for affordable housing and voucher assistance programs at any given time, according to the housing advocates and local reports. And think about that for a second. 30,000 people waiting, 30,000 families hoping for an opportunity, 30,000 residents just trying to catch a break. Now imagine learning that a high-ranking official whose job was to oversee part of that system wasn't simply collecting a paycheck from taxpayer. According to federal prosecutors, she was allegedly using her position to enrich herself, benefit family members, and even help the significant others connected to her children. We're talking about Tracy Jones, a long-time executive with the Atlanta Housing Authority. She ended up becoming vice president. She served in the leadership role for years and, according to the federal indictment, began abusing that position as far back as 2017. And because many residents already felt the system wasn't working for the people who needed it the most, comments like these became increasingly common.
We need the details on what exactly she was doing. I want to hear the details on what exactly. How did she include her family and help them out? In what kind of way? You know what I mean? Like, was she helping our people over like other races or something? Or when they say that, or what do they mean? That's why I want to hear more details.
Atlanta Housing Authority meetings. Fam, you're about to hear from a lifelong Atlanta resident growing up, voicing frustration, questioning transparency, and demanding answers about affordable housing in her city. As it turns out, this was one of the last public meetings that Tracy had attended in 2022 before being under federal investigation.
Everybody, I'm a community activist, and I live in the community. We have a crisis, and this crisis is not getting no better, it's getting worse. The minimum wages of Georgia is $5.15. Y'all could have prevented this housing. We got complaints, and that's why I perform that we get rent control, a stabilization. Senate Bill 125, Donzella James is in the House now. Y'all look comfortable. Y'all got a roof over your head.
Y'all look comfortable.
See these people out here. I demand. I'm not going to beg because it could be one of you. Because we is one paycheck away being homeless. And you know how eggs went up? It's $9 an hour, $9 for a dozen of eggs. And what I'm saying.
So you got to work for 2 hours to get a dozen eggs. God damn, that is crazy. $5.15. What jobs are paying 5.15? Like, is that like fast food? Like people are working out there like goddamn the burger spots and all that for $5 an hour. That shit sound like 1990. Shit, 1980. That shit sound like 1960. $5. What's minimum wage out here? I think minimum wage is like $18 to $20 in California or some shit. It might be more than that by now. Shit, I don't know. Our shit be going up like a motherfucker. But the cost of living out here is high as a bitch, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. But $5? Imagine making only $5.15 in California, in Los Angeles. Oh my God, that would be suicidal.
Housing authority, you're supposed to be protecting the people because Section A, they call me. They're not answering the phone. They're being nasty to me. And they are afraid because they feel they get off the lease. You won't help them. So what are y'all doing? 12,000 people being evicted every month, and you say you care? What this was set up for, is to protect the people. And let me tell you, I served this country for 20 years in one day. And I come out.
I served this country for 20 years in one day.
And I've been all around the world. And this is America? And this how you gonna treat our people? In the streets, you see them.
I served America for 20 years in one day. Oh, wait. Make that make sense. What you say, mama? I served America in 20 years in one day.
Out of it. I get phone calls. They get nasty with me. And you take it high. What is the problem with Section A? Nobody's not taking it in the city of Atlanta. And when people call Section A, their vouchers expired. Why? If you don't have enough people, a staff, high deep people, and you need a monitor, I believe you're not being monitored. Because when I was on the phone with one of the person, they didn't even call me back, trying to help one of the young ladies. And they'd be afraid, I don't want to call, because they might take me off the list. Nobody shouldn't feel that way.
At all.
That's why you got a job.
Right.
You're getting paid for this. And I'm sad. I'm thinking in another country, a third world. Learn from L.A. You see what happened in L.A.
What happened?
You see and people coming in, and they think affordable is not affordable. If I'm making $5 and
Hold on, why are you shooting shots at us? Hold on, what we do to you? Why you bring up L.A.?
15 cents. I'm a waitress. I have children. I got to put them in daycare. I got to eat. You got seniors now is dropping their life insurance because they cannot afford rent. You sit up here, you could look, but what you gonna do? Stop answering these phones. They are people. But if a dog I love dogs too. I got 3 dogs. If a dog was out there in the street, hot is what? You're going to pick up that phone. Hey, come and get this dog because it's hot outside. How about these children? This is Tent City. 1970, you remember? Fort Ord was Tent City. Let's go back. World War II, we did have rent control because history repeating itself. Because people can't afford the food. People can't afford the rent. Atlanta, I like the old Atlanta because you would be able to afford.
Talk your shit, Grandma. She cooking right now. She fucking up a couple words, but we know what she's saying. Hey, talk your shit, Grandma.
And I'm hurt. I have a roof over my head. I'm retired. But some of the people out there is not lucky. It's not that they don't want to work. It's not like they don't want to do anything. They pride. You got people who have jobs. How you allow? And I want to know, how did you allow for this rent to go up like this? How? Tell me. 1 bedroom, $1,500, and I make $5 per hour, or $8. Still is not enough. I help a lot of people, a lot of children to keep. That's why you got foster care. It's increasing because the people cannot afford the rent. So they're going to say, I don't want my child out there. So when can you take them? But at least they have something to eat. At least they got a roof over their head. You let the development come in here.
Well, there's ways to fix that. You know what I'm saying? Where, case in point, safe sex, not having sex at all. They can say shit like that. But, you can't blame the people on people having kids and then not being able to feed them. You know? But, don't have kids. Don't be out here fucking and having unprotected sex and breeding babies into the world if you ain't financially stable, man. And unfortunately, it don't work like that. A lot of women don't, they think they in love. They don't give a fuck. They think this man finna take care of them. And they get pregnant and nigga block them and stop answering their goddamn calls. And now they over here making $5.15 at the Waffle House. God damn it.
I up everything. You closed the project down. That was stupid. Because you didn't have a B plan.
A plan
and
B.
I believe before you had did that, I'm from New York. They didn't close the project down. Because if you had did that, they would be in crisis. Where are these people going? Where are they going? And they just coming in. Tent City? We gonna repeat it again?
So I want you to. So
That's all I got to say.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to cut
That's
you off.
all I
but
got
I'm
to
trying
say.
to be
Go ahead.
respectful
Okay,
of the
go
time.
ahead. I'm passing
Is that
with this.
Okay.
You got-
I want you to. So that we can continue with the meeting and
Okay.
answer some of your questions.
That's what I'm asking. Why people not answering the phone? Housing Authority. Why Section A is not, how their vouchers expired? Why does inspections not going out there to the houses to inspect it? And these people vouchers expiring. Why? Tell me why.
I wonder what part of Atlanta is she talking about. Like $5.15 an hour, $1,600 rent. What part of Atlanta is she talking about where the one bedroom was $1,600? Cause shit, it ain't Midtown. What part of Atlanta, y'all? Who's from Atlanta that can let us know what area y'all think or what area she talking about?
Do you don't have enough staff? What is it? Do you want volunteers? What do you need? Because the vouchers should have never, all these people vouchers expired. And because they said the people won't come in to inspect the house on time.
So let us. I mean, and I want to make sure. Are there any other issues before I answer part of what you?
Well, what I'm saying,
and I want to make
communication,
because
we
I've
don't
given
have-
you more than three, like
Okay,
more than 3 minutes.
I thank you for
Okay.
that. I thank you
So
for
I want you to
that.
sum up so I can
I'ma sum
answer.
up. Go ahead.
If you got some,
I ain't got nothing else, but
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Thank you. So let me. So we will get you an answer as it relates to the Section 8 issue, so we can spend some time after the meeting to make sure we've got a specific scenario that you're communicating about.
This
And
nigga look like a scammer. This nigga name is Larry Stewart. Larry, you look like a scammer. Nigga look like Braxton off the Jamie Foxx show.
examples to make sure that we've addressed that appropriately. And then I know that we have one more person. I'll just mention before we bring the last person up. I know that I've heard a couple times rent control. So just to be clear, rent control is controlled by the state. We don't control that. That's not something that Atlanta Housing controls. It's not something that the city of Atlanta can control. So it is not. It is an important thing. While the General Assembly is in session, these are the things that we should be communicating at our state and at the state level so that they can make the changes. We certainly, I mean, I won't speak for anyone. I will speak for myself in saying that rent control is not something that I'm against. I think we would love to be able to have some of those elements to be able to manage control, manage rent in the city, but it's not something that we can control. So
That sounds like a cop-out, Larry. You didn't take no accountability for nothing this lady just did. You made her sit up there for 10 minutes and pour her heart and soul out, only to tell her, hey, none of this shit you said mattered to us. It's nothing we can control.
hear you. So I'm just giving you the point I'm making about the point I'm making. But let's move forward. I want to make sure that we get our last public comment in. But thank you, and thank you.
Fast forward to December 2025, Tracy Denise Jones, a senior vice president overseeing the Housing Choice Voucher Program at the Atlanta Housing Authority, was indicted after investigators
Got her.
uncovered a fraud scheme involving the very program she was responsible for managing. Authorities allege Jones used a false identity and a shell company to collect more than $36,000 in Section 8 payments for a family living in her own rental property in Fayetteville. While
Man, all this shit over $36,000. I thought she was gonna hit the bank for some millions, man. Over 36. This is what you losing your job for and going to jail. $36 funky $1,000. Man, oh my God. Atlanta, what is going on? This sound like, y'all making Atlanta sound like struggle capital out there. And I know Atlanta got some nice ass houses. This nigga's out there getting some money. But god damn, what is going I feel like we watching an episode from goddamn 1981 in this motherfucker.
Also submitting false affidavits and persuading others to provide fraudulent documentation. Now fam, let's go over Tracy's 19-page indictment. She was charged on 3 federal counts: conspiracy to commit theft of government funds, wire fraud, credit application fraud. Count 1, Section 8 housing fraud conspiracy. Some say her son girlfriend is also cooperating. The government say Jones owned a house in Fayetteville, Georgia, with the mother of her son's children.
Look at that motherfucker, y'all. It makes sense now, huh?
Identified as MD and Jones' grandchildren lived. According to prosecutors, they identified it under 3 steps. Step 1, MD allegedly submitted false paperwork claiming she lived in Atlanta so she could qualify for Atlanta Housing Section 8 program, even though she actually lived in Fayetteville. Step 2, they allegedly submitted a false domestic violence claim so MD's voucher could be transferred from Atlanta Housing to Georgia DCA. Step 3, Jones allegedly disguised ownership of the Fayetteville house by placing it under a non-profit/business entity called New Beginning Restoration Project, MBRP, and allegedly used the fake name Tracy P. Collins. The government say Jones...
All this over $705 a month.
Jones repeatedly certified that she was not related to the assisted family, even though her grandchildren lived there. As a result, federal prosecutors say she collected approximately $36,387 in Section 8 housing assistance payments from November 2019 to February of 2023. The cover-up allegation: when Atlanta Housing launched an internal investigation, prosecutors say Jones submitted a false affidavit denying ownership and control of both the house and MBRP.
All this sounds like to me is I'm in position to help my daughter-in-law or my daughter and my grandchildren, so I'm gonna look out for them and get this shit approved in a different city like any fucking auntie, cousin, brother, or sister would do. What the fuck is wrong with that? But she got caught. Yes, that's what happened. But damn, I thought she did like some super criminal shit. Like all she did was help her people. Damn, y'all can't slap her on the wrist, give her a write-up, and hey, it's only $36,000. Man, these motherfuckers be in that Section 8 housing shit. They be stripping motherfuckers of millions out that shit out here in L.A. Y'all tripping over $36,000? That's just a write-up. Don't do it again, motherfucker.
Cause others to submit false documents as well. Count 2, PPP and COVID relief fraud. The government say Jones submitted multiple pandemic relief applications using business entities she controlled. EIDL loan and advance for, you guessed it, fam, New Beginning Restoration Project. Claims allegedly made 3 employees $56,000 in revenue in an active business. Government says it was no employees and no actual business operations, plus no sales. The funds received was $13,000 from EIDL and $3,000 from EIDL Advance. Total $16,000.
This is petty.
Application 2, PPP loan, MBRP.
Here we
Claims made that she had 5 employees, monthly payroll $4,464.80. Business revenue, and the government says those representations were false. Funds received $11,162.
I mean, in all fairness, yes. Listen, it was fucking, everybody had lost their goddamn jobs. Niggas didn't know what was going to go on. This is during quarantine shit. Everybody was trying to hit the bank. Everybody was trying to hit the bank. Hey, it was some people out here getting some crazy money who didn't have no jobs and was claiming they had corporations and businesses. But, you know, shit, y'all got to see, y'all think this is something. That's a whole nother deep dive. When you see what like the motherfucking Asians and Koreans was doing in PPP, what they was hitting for. Them niggas was hitting for 9 million, 12 million, 30. They was taxing.
PPP loan. Application 3, CIDL application, business, CNT management and consultant. Claim for employees with a $78,000 revenue. Government says the IRS filing shows only about 12,000 gross receipts. Application denied. Application 4, targeted EIDL advance. Claim 6 employees, $74,269 in sales. The government says no employees and no sales, and the application was denied. One quote prosecutors highlighted in this indictment is Jones allegedly wrote, "I am truly an honest business owner," and, quote, "I hear the stories of how people abuse the PPP loans to establish a lavish lifestyle. That is not me," while appealing one of the denials. Count 3 was the mortgage fraud. In June of 2022, Jones refinanced the Fayetteville property. Federal prosecutors say she falsely stated the Fayetteville house was her primary residence. She intended to live there, and she did not own other properties. The government says she actually lived in Atlanta and was actively renting the Fayetteville property to MD while collecting Section 8 payments. The mortgage was approved for $291,780.
Hello.
Atlanta Housing Authority executive pled guilty
Hit they
today
ass.
in a federal court to collecting more than $300,000 in federal housing and pandemic funds. Channel 2 investigative
Hit
reporter
they
Ashley
ass.
Lincoln live now in Fayetteville. Ashley, you were the only reporter in that courtroom today.
Yeah, we were inside that courtroom this morning. I can tell you that Tracy Jones, that former senior vice president for the Atlanta Housing Authority, spoke very quietly, mostly answering yes or no questions. But she did agree, telling the judge about the conditions laid out in this plea agreement. One of the details including her using federal dollars to pay herself to rent this Fayetteville home she owns.
Hey, bro, we are always going to remember the PPP era, the quarantine era. Bring back the stimmy checks. Niggas was happy about them stimmy checks. Niggas was blowing them stimmy checks in 2 hours. Those stimmy checks, niggas didn't take them checks serious at all. What, 1,200? Shoot it.
A former Atlanta Housing Authority employee who asks not to be identified says the allegations leave a lasting stain on the agency meant to help families find stable footing.
It's going to make people question everything about the process, the system.
On Monday, former Senior Vice President Tracy Jones pleaded guilty to using her position for personal gain.
Yeah,
More than
she ran it up.
$63,000 prosecutors say came after Jones falsified documents to approve her son's girlfriend for federal housing vouchers. Vouchers used to rent a Fayetteville home
With her grandchildren. You know what I mean? Listen, if ever a reason to do some fraud, it don't sound like you did nothing for no outsiders. If ever a time and it's your back against the wall and you got to do something out of your element for the better good of your grandchildren, I understand it. It ain't right, but at least she wasn't just out here just, you know what I mean, doing it for anybody. Like for her grandchildren, I understand it, man. I mean, shit. And she was running play for her house too, so don't leave that part out.
Jones owns. Court documents say Jones even staged a domestic violence incident to help secure voucher approval down in Fayetteville.
Not only were you getting the voucher and giving to the family member was renting your house. So you're double dipping.
Court records also say Jones used a fake name and business to pocket around $36,000, this time in pandemic relief dollars. Then in 2022, authorities say Jones falsified paperwork again, this time to secure nearly $300,000 in a Federal Housing Administration mortgage on that same Fayetteville property.
That's where she fucked up. That's where you hit their ass. 36, you would have been straight. They probably would have gave you a slap on the wrist and not made a big deal, but they still would have wanted their bread. But 300,000, now that's where you playing.
Not only did you take a voucher from a family, that house, your own home, was serviced by the agency that you work for.
And again, Jones pled guilty to conspiracy to commit theft of government funds, wire fraud, and credit application fraud. Now, a judge could sentence her to up to more than 20 years in prison. That is up to the judge's discretion. The judge will formally sentence her in May. Reporting live tonight in Fayetteville, Ashley Lincoln, Channel 2 Action News.
In return, on the second day of June of 2026, Tracy Denise Jones was sentenced to 9 months in federal prison, followed by 9 months of home detention and 15 months of supervised release. She was also ordered to pay $65,598.80 in restitution. And
she ain't got it. She ain't got it, man. She got to sell that house. They like, hey, if they didn't take that motherfucker.
a $63,546 fine. Jones pled guilty in February to conspiracy to commit theft of government funds, wire fraud, and credit application fraud. Another chapter closed and another one open. But what does this mean for the residents in Atlanta? Still dependent on vouchers. Only time will tell. Are many praying for the best and prepared for the worst? As more developed or even more resolutions come to the forefront, fam, I keep you guys updated. But
all right, man. God damn. Hey, part of me feels like I fuck with what you did as far as helping out your grandchildren. that element of it, but then you also was using them at the same time to fund your own shit and run different channels of revenue to that house you own, and you know what I'm saying, run them PPP loans and all kind of shit. You was profiting off them at the same time. You was looking out for them, and you was also profiting off them. So that's why I don't feel bad for you. Like, you know, you looked out. Hey, I'm gonna get y'all this house. I'm gonna say it's over here. It's in my business, but they ain't gonna know it's my business, and I'm gonna run this money through there. Make sure the kids got somewhere to stay. I'm gonna make sure it's on Section 8 so your rent is low. You feel me? But y'all gotta make sure y'all pay me because that's my shit. But I'm gonna hit their ass for $300,000 to make sure they cover this shit. Boom, boom. Like, she ran a play, but you know, you got sloppy, you got caught, and it's over with. It's over with. Now you gotta do 9 months and then, you know, start from the bottom. Nobody's gonna want to hire you in one of these positions now because nobody's gonna trust you. So where will she go from here? Maybe to the Waffle House for $5.15 an hour, man. But let me know what y'all think. I'm going to give you 2 seconds to smash the like. And as always, get ready for the next reaction.